I'm Tony Scott with bnetTV. We are here at the Wi-Fi World Summit in Barcelona 2012. I am speaking with O2's Mr. Paul Miller. How are you today, sir?
I'm very well. Pleasure to speak to you.
Pleasure to speak to you, too. So what is O2 doing at the Wi-Fi World Summit?
We've come to tell the fellow operators across the industry what we're doing at the moment. We've been extremely active in the past couple of years in establishing O2 Wi-Fi, from the first hotspot going in about 2 years ago to our accelerated growth where we are today.
What does Wi-Fi do for the overall viability of a carrier?
Well, I think it's really important because actually a carrier really is just providing mobile data to end users, and now end users have got smartphones, they've got tablets, so actually there's a total mobile data demand, and Wi-Fi is a valid part of meeting that demand. So that's right from the tablets that are Wi-Fi only right through to the smartphones that are serving 3G as well. So it actually is a part of a suite of the services that can meet that total demand.
Is it good for ARPU?
Yeah, it is actually. I think that's a fair question, and we do get asked that quite a lot. I think Wi-Fi has the advantage in that it can complement cellular, and sometimes people think that they clash, and I don't think they do at all. The way that it complements cellular is that Wi-Fi is available in certain areas. Fine, there are kind of pockets of connectivity, but the cellular is ubiquitous. So, if you want to make a call, then you're going to mostly rely on cellular because it is wherever you are, and it covers all of the country. So it provides that, but I think the other thing that Wi-Fi does is it encourages a different style of consumption, which is, we call it data binging. So if you go into Wi-Fi and it's fast and free Wi-Fi, you'll go and use really heavy data services. Now, you're going to get to use those, you'll think, I like these services, you'll use them time and time again, and suddenly they'll become a part of your day-to-day consumption. So then you'll start to do it over the cellular as well. So actually, I think it acts as a catalyst for the new level of service. And if you think back only kind of 5 years ago and look at what you personally were using and your viewers are using, then the way that you've changed and moved on from the content you consume is completely radical. And so, you've got the situation now whereby one YouTube video is the equivalent of 500,000 text messages. So we're all consuming so much more data, and Wi-Fi is a valid part of helping to meet that demand.
And so inevitably, is that as that consumption continues to grow, which clearly it has, and the OTT players, they don't have any cost towards the carrier. The carrier is in the position that it needs to do something because the file sizes aren't going to get any smaller.
Yeah, indeed, this is true. But I think the advantage that we have, being a cellular operator who grew into Wi-Fi, and we have broadband as well, is we can see that total data demand of the individual user. So we can see, what are they offloading to the smartphone in the home. We can see where they're consuming on the 3G when they're out and about, and then we can see on Wi-Fi. And so we can understand how to meet that need because we can understand how they're using each of those levers. Now, if you look across the market, those people who play in one or two of those areas, they only get a partial picture. Equally, you're right, some of the over-top services are coming in now, and equally, Telefonica are developing some really exciting services to run over the top. So again, we're kind of approaching it from both angles, and by having a Wi-Fi business, it neatly complements what we do and our raison d'etre.
What were some of the highlights that you can talk about from your presentation this morning?
I was very proud to talk about the fact that we're approaching 5,000 hotspots now, and this is from a standing start in the market 2 years ago, getting the business case approved. We've moved incredibly quickly, and we've signed up with some fantastic brands, some leading brands, many of whom haven't taken their first step into Wi-Fi until they did so with us. So I think when you can talk about partnerships like that, that's really encouraging. I also wanted to just outline this morning some of the lessons that we found, which is that it's really important to get the customer experience right in Wi-Fi. And if we're honest as an industry, I don't think all Wi-Fi connections are as good as they should be. We've learned some really important lessons from our research, and then through going out and validating it, that you've got to make it free for the end user, simple experience, make it a fast hotspot, and be reliable. So if you say you've got a hotspot there, monitor it and make sure it works. And those kind of fundamental building blocks aren't universally in place. We've put them in place, and we've shown you build up this community of users, and you get really positive results from it. It's
really great to see a company like O2, large corporation, sharing its data sets with the rest of the with the community to say, hey, if you're going to do it right.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think you'll see a lot of that here. It's a really positive, constructive conference where people are wanting to say, okay, we've done these things here, this is what worked, this is what didn't work. And I think Wi-Fi is, I entitled my presentation The Renaissance of Wi-Fi. It's been around for 10 years, but actually I think in the last couple of years it's really started to take off. And so there's a real opportunity now as the market really picks up for people, if they're going to get the model right, get the customer experience right, then I think there's a great opportunity for them to, to really have some success here.
Paul, thanks for taking the opportunity to speak with us here today at the conference. I hope we get a chance for an update from O2 again in the future.
Thank you so much.
I've been speaking with Mr. Paul Miller of O2 here at the Wi-Fi World Summit in Barcelona 2012. I'm Tony Sklar with bnetTV.